Hello! This is the One Episode Rule, a podcast about first impressions. I'm Magpie, and it's hot in here.
Uh-oh.
My air conditioning is busted.
That's no good.
It's not as bad as it could be, but it's going to become more and more of an issue as time goes on.
Uh-oh.
So the summer is a coming.
The sun is getting closer.
The sun is almost on our doorstep.
We cannot stop it.
Mm-hmm. It's still quite cold where I am, but I'm sure it'll become different soon. Um. Yeah. Should I introduce myself, or have we introduced the podcast? I forgot.
No, we're still waiting to start recording. Of course.
No, that's
Black will
not
introduce
true, 'cause-
yourself.
I'm Blackle, and I'm an expert podcaster. But I did want to share a piece of information, a piece of news with you all about what I had for dinner today.
All right.
And and this segues into, it's not a segue if it isn't anything, but I want to share with you my first time experience eating corn dogs.
Oh shit!
It
It's
happened?
corn dogs.
I ate a corn dogs for dinner tonight, and let me tell you. So hot dogs don't normally agree with me. Like the meat doesn't agree with me, and so I thought like if I'm gonna have corn dogs, I'm gonna have to aim high. I'm gonna have to get some gourmet ass corn dogs. So I ended up buying these corn dogs from this place, and they're not even made of corn; they're made of rice. And
Okay,
You have failed. These are not corn dogs.
you've had the bad experience already.
wait, hold on, no, I'll stop you right there because they were fucking delicious. They were so good. They were so tasty. And I was eating it. I'm like, the only bad thing about this is that I have to eat around the stick. And then I realized I could just push up the corn dog on the stick and eat from the top of the stick again. And I'm like, this is the perfect food. So I think I'm a corn dog stan now, and I don't know what to do about
So, Blackle, I have news for you in that you didn't eat a corn dog at all.
that. It was almost okay. If I gave this to you and you ate it, I think you would think it was a corn dog.
No, I don't think so, Blackle.
was-
I think that you will find that the lack of corn makes it not a corn dog. Blackle,
Okay.
I'm going to lose my mind.
You're simply an ingredient purist. I am a structural purist. Listen, the ingredients were there. They might have been different, but they formed the exact shape and texture.
It's
what's the
named corn dog.
Blackle.
Okay, let me get you a picture of what
You
this
just had
Blackle,
you had a rice dog.
you had a rice dog and you can't tell me that's the same thing because you've never had an actual corn dog, so you don't have a point of reference. This would be different if you had had a corn dog before and then said, hey, I had a rice dog today, and it's actually pretty good compared to a corn dog. But you
Well,
know
I've never
what?
had a
It's
corn
not the
dog.
same. Blackle, I'm losing my... Ooh.
Can I at least show you what they look like?
Yeah,
No.
sure. Fuck it.
I don't
This
want to
is-
look at it.
This is what it looks like. This is
I agree.
the rice dog.
That doesn't even look like a corn dog.
Blackle,
What?
that don't look like a corn dog.
It's so flaky.
Blackle, corn dog don't look like this.
Well,
Corn
let me
dog's
tell you something.
smooth.
The only other place I could think to buy a corn dog was 7-Eleven. I don't know if that's going to be good on my tummy.
No,
They're not
probably
supposed
not.
They're not supposed to be.
But I don't want to perish. I
Then
want to
don't
have
eat
my...
corn dogs.
Let me enjoy my quasi corn dog in peace, okay? I thought you guys would have been happy for me.
You
I think
came
you
in
would've
here
been
telling
excited.
me that you ate a corn dog and you lied. You were incorrect.
You breached. This is a breach
I'm-
of trust.
So disappointed,
Jody,
Blackle.
introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Joey, and I'm disappointed in my friend Blackle. It's
I'm
fine.
gonna cry.
No.
Do we have
I still love
anything
you.
relevant to talk about?
We don't. Do we have any anime related? Listen, I've been having a week, so I haven't had time to watch or consume any anime. The only literally the only slightly anime adjacent thing that I've done this week is look at Kaiji with the reflector suit on.
It was hard
The,
to tell
like-
that. It was hard to tell that he was kaiju, though. I think he was. It's because he was missing the enormous nose.
Yeah, he was really. People do this with Kaiji a lot. They stylize him.
They
You can kind of tell from like the hair and the
they
other
try and
like
sand off
features.
the things that make him kaiji.
Leave Kaiji's nose alone, guys. Please just add the big triangle. It's fine.
That's what he
He
is.
needs it. But also,
Make it big.
I'm not gonna like say that it's not Kaiji. But anyhow, fan artists, we need your help. Anyhow, that's the only thing that I've got. Do we have any news?
I do
Any
have
anime
news.
news?
That's because I haven't really watched anything either. I've been meaning to get into some, but I've been a little busy. Um,
Yeah.
but I do have some news. Let's take it from the top here. First of all, the thing I first encountered when I was looking for news yesterday, idly. Um, this is a non-story because I cannot actually report on this because the
Oh, I know
primary
what this
sources
is.
have been erased from history.
I know what
But
this is.
Dead Sea
up,
Scrolls.
apparently on Twitter there was some Miss Nagatoro discourse.
Yeah, we can't even like really even call it that.
um,
I don't. I mean, yeah, I guess we. It started as that.
it started as that. So, from what I gathered from an article somebody wrote about it while it was happening, a user going by Wyatt, I won't hit his ad or anything like that, because I don't dox people.
But also, he's gone
He's
anyways.
also
So
gone, so but
Destroyed.
uh, had the opinion that the Nagatoro Miss Nagatoro's use of sus in its localization was shitty. It was a bad move on the part of the translators. Um, 5 tweets later, it goes from that to like Hitler was right.
yeah,
Of fucking
yeah,
course.
I have never seen someone detonate like this on Twitter. Just to the most like it is. This is a thread about a localization issue.
yeah. Like you literally the word sus.
And he just
It's just
immediately came out with just the most racist, homophobic, transphobic rant he could muster for an anime discussion.
God. I mean,
do we
par for the
expect more
course
from weebs
sometimes.
at this point?
Well, we don't expect more from Nazis, I guess.
No,
Yeah.
we. Ugh.
I guess that kind of shit I think just worms its way into every conversation you have after a certain point. Because let's be real, a lot of people who knew what the show was figured that the discourse on Twitter was going to be about the author and the gorilla hentai that they had drawn,
Oh,
but
Nope,
no,
wasn't that.
no, it was just weebs losing their fucking minds. Anyway,
Oh, your dub is bad? Time to be racist.
I don't even I don't even know if it's bad. Oh well,
Well, that
it's
person thought it was. I don't know.
uh, seems timely to me. But anyway, let's move on to more news. Let's see. So, Toshio Suzuki, who works for Studio Ghibli, has apparently officially disavowed or nixed the rumors that there was going to be a Nausicaa live action film, despite the fact that many directors want to make one
mm.
on a talk show where he was guesting with some other people. Uh, and they were all remarking on how many people wanted to do it, and his comment was, "Is the only person who doesn't want to is Hayao Miyazaki."
That don't surprise
And
me.
I would say that he is wrong because I don't want them to do that either.
Yeah, no. Why would they?
I don't think it will be very good. I think you can just make a thing and then leave it.
Yeah, and not everything has to have a hyper realistic live action
It
version.
doesn't have to be remade in live action. It doesn't have to be remade at all. It stands on its own legs. People remember it.
Yeah,
This movie is fucking near 40 years old,
and still bops.
and it's still incredible. All right. Uh, Other movies that are getting made. Apparently, on like the 10th anniversary of Madoka, they've announced a new sequel movie
Hmm.
Yeah, I just heard about that pretty
called
recently.
Walpurgis. I don't know what it's about, but I do. The reason I'm reporting on this is, well, a Madoka's cool, and I need to rewatch it and then watch the movies. Uh, Despite the agonizing conversations about what counts as a deconstruction,
Yeah.
because God, weebs don't know what a deconstruction is. Uh, but the reason I'm reporting on this is because because Gen Urobuchi found out about it, and then he says, "Oh, that's coming out. I wrote that 5 years ago. Glad to see they're making it." Which is the best way to take this news, I guess.
Yeah, it's just like I guess it just goes to show how disconnected the anime, like manga to anime pipeline is.
Well, there was never a manga
What?
of Madoka. It was
No.
it was an original anime,
Oh,
Yeah. Yep.
and
oh,
I think he wrote this like right after he finished writing the movies, the original set of movies that followed the series.
oh. You
Yeah.
mean write
I
screenplay?
Yeah,
I
I
still
see.
have not seen Madoka at all.
it's
Me
good.
neither.
We should watch
I
it.
saw the first
We
episode
should.
or two.
We should all watch
We
it
s-
because it's very good, and I think both of you will like it a lot.
Okay.
it's
Um,
not very long either, as far as I know.
yeah,
I heard it's
uh,
like home.
yeah, it's totally like Homestuck. Anyway, Blackle, you said you had something that we could watch.
Right. Yeah. So well, the other day I was trying to find. Well, other day I mean like a month ago. I was trying to find an anime. No, I was trying to find King of the Hill, dubbed
Hmm.
into dubbed into Japanese. The first episode for our
Yeah.
Oh God.
wonderful April Fool's Day joke. Um, and
April Fool's Day?
I like went through like I like went to Hulu Japan and I was like looking through like all this shit
Hmm.
and like trying to find it. Like I don't know. They got an animation section. They've got a bunch of Western animation there, and they're all dubbed to Japanese. Couldn't find it, but what I did find was a very strangely familiar face, and I didn't understand why it was familiar, and then it sort of some pieces clicked. And once you watch it, I think you'll those pieces will click for you too. But it's called Business Fish.
Business fish.
Business.
Business
And the only
fish.
way I could find it was by finding a torrent that had one seater. So it's a
Oh my
wonder we have
God.
it at all. So
Oh.
All right. Well, let's figure out how we're gonna watch this.
Okay.
yeah.
Is this a Seinfeld? This feels this feels like a Seinfeld.
I think that this was a Seinfeld.
It's a show about nothing and
Well,
also fish.
well, it's not even that aspect of it that makes me think it's a Seinfeld. It's that the protagonist is terrible. But he's
Yeah.
terrible in like a really funny way.
Yeah.
Yes.
And not like they tried to write a likable character and failed.
It
Right.
was more like
they
they
just
tried to
wrote
write
an
a.
absolute.
They wrote this fucking wreck.
It was
Yeah.
like, let's write a really flawed character. That'll be fun.
All right, I guess I'll take this blurb here. Because my blurb, by the way, I'll post that I got the one I got from my anime list is the most nothing ever.
Maybe you can read the first blurb and then the second blurb. I don't know.
Okay, I'll do that. Uh, Tai, who desperately wants to be seen as the main character instead of a supporting character, runs into Otohime, a popular classmate from his high school, and decides to ask her out, as he consults Hachio for advice. However, his feelings of inadequacy get in the way of their relationship. My blurb was this. The anime features characters with human bodies and fish heads as office workers at an IT firm.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Not technically wrong.
No.
Not
I guess-
wrong. A little vague.
Yeah. Um. Can we talk about the slapping noises?
Okay,
There's
I
a
did-
lot to talk about in this. Yes, and that
I
is
thought-
one of them.
I thought they were in my mind at first, but then when I got to the karaoke scene, I was just like, no, those are really just fish flopping noises.
Yeah.
That is
Every
fish
single
market
time
noise.
he moves, it's just like
When he
It
talks,
sounds like
it's
a-
just
sounds like wet feet slapping around on
Yes.
linoleum.
it's
Yes.
fucking catfish in a bathtub.
Oh god, yeah. The first thing we see of him is he's like shaking violently in anger. He just
He
is
is.
slapping noises over and
He's
over
just
and over
like-
again. Yeah.
Hey, I have so many questions. A, who made this? Why does it look like that? Where did this come from? Why? What? Why?
When
Okay.
did this come from?
When?
Okay, well, I'll give some background. So, the anime was released in 2019, and the character of Business Fitch is a. I'm trying to figure out. It's very difficult to understand what this is because it's a character that was featured in a webcomic series, and it's also well known for being stickers on Facebook and Line. I don't know if you
What?
guys picked that up, but like,
What?
one of the first stickers on Facebook, it was either Plusheen or Business Fish. Can you remember
Really?
that? Yeah, look, I got
No.
screenshots. Business
I don't-
Fish stickers. That was like
I
the
don't-
first stickers on Facebook.
I don't know anything about stickers on any program.
Really,
I don't-
I've literally never seen these in my life.
really.
I didn't know
No.
Facebook had stickers. I knew Line did, but I didn't know anything else about Line because it's one of those Japanese things that doesn't exist for the
I-
West.
I really hate him posing on the couch with his pizza.
Yeah, so Business Fish, I don't know, like I saw that anime and I was like, what? Business Fish has an anime? Which is so weird because it was released in 2019 and what's the name of this website? Wikipedia doesn't have any other information about it other than it was sticker sets. Oh, here it is. Sticker sets released in 2015 on Facebook and Line. So very early sticker sets on Facebook. Anyway, I felt like I was losing my mind when I saw that. I was like, wait a minute, who is this character? I've seen this guy before.
He's the business fish.
He's the Business Fish. And so that's why I wanted us to watch this, because I wanted to see what it was about.
Baffled. Okay, we have to talk about the art style in
Yeah.
which, because when you say an anime, you go in with expectations, and this was very different. Like, I'm not even saying this is like a bad thing. Like,
yeah.
the models were maybe like a bit stiff in their movement, but I didn't mind it that much because it was
You
like
know,
I'll say one thing is that I found the models themselves for some of the characters to be kind of gross, like the weird carrot man. But
yeah, Carrot Man was bad to look
Carrot
at.
Man.
but I will say this: the environments are gorgeous.
yeah. I think that I think it was clear that they had a very limited budget, but they made it work.
Yeah,
They sort of like
The-
knew what they could do with the medium, and so they're like, well,
Yeah.
we'll have like a couple of stock locations, and then we'll make it mainly dialogue driven.
yeah. They
Yeah.
had like a couple of really well rendered locations in their style. They chose like flat like cell rendering so that they didn't have to like have a lot of shaders and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of worked.
It works.
I think
Like-
they did a good job.
Yeah.
Apparently it's 3D motion capture too, so they even like,
Really?
yeah.
That
I thought
kind
at
of
the-
makes sense.
You know, at the end when they were dancing, I was like,
Yes.
is this like MPD?
That's
Yeah.
what I thought too. I was
Yeah.
like, this is
So let's talk about Fishman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His first act is so it really it's one of the strongest character introductions I've ever seen, because it's this dude just being an idiot,
Yeah.
because he sees his coworker, he's in a bad mood or something, and he sees his coworker goofing off with one of the other younger employees,
Hmm.
and he decides to be a fish narc about it.
Yes. This
Just
is
like,
his thing.
this guy is ignorant about love and fucking like
And
living as a
work.
salary man, and he was here late. He was here late this
And
morning, and I was
he starts
off.
laying into him, and his fucking boss is just like, "Why are you harassing my employee?"
Yeah.
Also, their little tiny boss that looked like fucking the Chinese premier.
The boss is so funny to see.
Just a
Like
weird
Danny
little,
DeVito ass. I love him.
goblin man.
Oh man. I like the part in the middle of the episode where our fish man hears some of the other coworkers talking about how they how they don't
How their
feel
boss,
respected by the boss or something.
yeah, the boss is casting an aura of darkness, and he's just like, "I'll stand up for the younger employees," and he goes over there and he's just like, "I think you should treat the younger employees with more respect," and the boss behind his desk just be like, "Well, who said that they don't feel respected?" And he's just like, "I won't tell you that." And he immediately turns around and does a big thumbs up to the two in the corner, and they're just like, "Oh, so it was them."
Yeah.
God.
And then the immediate next scene is him asking them questions. They don't want to tell him anything anymore because he can't be trusted.
Yeah, and then he gets mad at them for not even telling him good lies.
It
He's
really
like,
is.
at least tell me something. Tell me something. It doesn't even have to be true. And one of them's like, well, I'm scared of I'm getting chubby. And he's like, that's your lie. That's the best you can come up with. Like, he's like,
It's very
Oh,
funny
man.
though.
What a
Yeah.
dipshit.
yeah.
I do like, he does have one redeeming quality, which is his woes. Because whenever he feels pressured, or he's trying to summon up a willpower, he just fucking opens his horrible fish mouth and goes, "Whoa!"
Yes. Yes.
And it just throws up these big block like
Like a splash
callig-
screen or some sort.
splash screen with calligraphied letters on it.
And it's
Whoa, fish!
it's good.
The way of the fish.
You can't. I think my favorite thing about him is his expressiveness. Like his dumb little fish faces are so good.
They're pretty good.
You know what?
Fish,
When he
not
walks around all what after he has one of those whoa moments and he walks and he's like really pumped up, he sort of has Majima energy to me.
a little bit, yeah.
It's like slowly walking towards the thing he's got to do.
Yeah,
He's
I
got,
see that.
but yeah, just throwing out a big yosha. So why was the only place you could find this a torrent?
I have no earthly idea.
That's what
the
I
thing
want
is
to
that
know.
that blurb I sent was for the first episode of the anime on Wikipedia, and there's no other descriptions for any of the episodes.
Oh god.
And I don't know what the deal is. I guess it's not very popular in English.
I
don't
feel
know where
like
to find it.
we've stumbled across some sort of mystery here.
Yeah,
I'm
Well,
intrigued. I want to know more.
yeah.
Some sort of weird Sanrio knockoff shit. Feels like.
Yeah, the only okay, here's the torrent search. The only sub I could find is for the first episode. And there's other things, but it's like episode 5 to 6, in brackets, low quality, .mp4. And the rest is all of it is just Japanese, not subbed or anything. So I think if we were gonna watch the rest of this, we would need to pay somebody.
How bizarre.
To sub it for us. Yeah, that's
We could get into a quick plot synopsis of the overarching thing that they do, which is
Yes.
which is once Fishman stops being an idiot at the office, he's talking to his coworker, which, by the way, is just a Ghibli character. None of these characters look alike in any way.
They're all
No.
different.
There's
Which I kinda like
there's
it.
no rhyme or reason to like who is gonna have a fish head either. Cause like
No.
there's him, there's like this shrimp girl in the
The
office.
shrimp
Is she
girl,
a shrimp or a lobster? I don't know.
I think it's a lobster.
crayfish woman.
Yes, crayfish
There's
woman.
apparently another character, some sort of squid.
Squid. We
Uh-huh.
didn't actually see this character, just where the dancing animation at the end.
She seems cool. I want to meet her.
Yeah,
Is the
Yeah.
carrot man supposed to be a fish? I don't actually know. I think
Not-
he's just
I think
some
he's a
sort of
human.
awful little carrot.
Just a carrot.
He
Just
looks-
completely out of theme. He's just a carrot.
but he's talking
His
to
friend-
his
Yeah.
his Studio Ghibli friend. And yeah, the deal is that he ran into somebody he knew from his high school on the train, and they would talk every now and then. And he finally asked her to come to this open air like bar to ask her out, and he can't work up the nerve to do it because he thinks he's an NPC.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was gonna say that too. He's like, I can't do that because I'm a support. Like, wait, no. His friend, he asks him like, "What do you think of me?" And he's like, "You have supporting character energy. You have NPC energy. You just
Yeah.
seem like a guy who's going to like fuck up other people's stories and not be your own story." And he's like, "No, I will be a protect." Yeah, he kind of goes back and forth on this in the episode where he's like, "I'm gonna be the hero," and then he decides, "No, I'm gonna be the best supporting character I be. No, I'm gonna be the hero. No, I'm gonna be like." He keeps flip flopping.
Yeah.
And yeah, well, he is a fish.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. So as they're
Ba-da-bop.
talking, they like sort of it's sort of like almost like parts of this almost feel like bottle episode esque in that like they linger very long in like one location, but
Yeah,
will
they have a
call
long
back to previous
conversation.
locations.
But they're
Yeah.
like good conversations.
Yeah.
So they have the
Um,
same energy as that one we watched. What is it? The assistant demon lord or whatever.
Oh
Where he
yeah.
they were
I'll,
sitting and talking about koalas for one whole
Yes.
episode in the lunchroom.
Yeah.
Right.
But so as they're talking, they're having like flashbacks to like things that have happened in the office before, like like him accidentally showing porn to his coworkers when he meant to
That
make
was
it.
so funny. I like when that screen popped up. It's just like some girl on his laptop covered in like tentacle
Tentacles,
monster,
yeah.
and I actually screamed out loud when that happened.
That was funny. It also like got strangely metafictional because they were talking about like, what if we were in a fictional story? And I'm like, they know.
But yeah, he finally he finally rejects the other guy telling him that he's a supporting character. And he stands up and he goes over and he's just like, "I'm going to be the main character." And he goes over out of earshot to ask her out, and he bows and obviously confesses, and she nods. And
Yeah, you don't hear what he's saying, but he's like saying something just probably very politely and gently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he comes back and he's just like, "Oh, did she shoot you down or ask you to wait for a decision?" And he's just like, "No, she said we should go out." And then he proceeds to spend the rest of the episode having a complete mental breakdown.
Yeah.
You know what? That moment where he's like, yeah, she actually wants to go. And I was like strangely really excited for him. I was like strangely like, oh wow, is this gonna be like actually a show where like there's like character development and stuff, and it's not just like a return to what's the word? It's
Status
not
quo.
gonna just be a return to status quo.
Return to
every
form.
episode.
Yeah.
And then literally it was like, I wonder if their relationship will find out if their relationship works out on episode 2, the breakup.
Yeah. The
Yeah, but-
transition to that next screen was great because it was like, will it work? Yeah, he did it. And then it goes to the next slide and it's like part 2, the breakup, and I'm like, oh man.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing is it's really well written, I feel like, because he immediately just starts self-sabotaging.
Yes, he does.
Which speaks to like deep-seated like resentment of the self.
Yeah. It's kind of sad.
But he proceeds to act like a complete dipshit, and he's trying to work up ways to figure out how to break up with her.
because he
And
can't
he's
deal with it.
he can't deal with it, and he's making excuses about how he's gonna turn the other guy into the supporting character or whatever. No, he's just being a coward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. By the way, we forgot to mention that the other guy, which is her ex, is another fish head guy. But now he's
Yeah, she has a type.
yeah. Now he's like now he's like the head of a company, and we have this cutaway where they show the dude. He's like I don't know how you describe it. It's like a tropical fish. For
Yeah,
a
he's
head.
like
Like an
a
angelfish.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
like well, he's like the yellow and blue striped fish.
Yeah.
I wanted to say angelfish because they kept comparing him to like an angel of light or something like that, and I was like, okay, angelfish. That's a
think they're
funny
gonna-
joke.
Do you think they're gonna make an angel investor joke at some point? But anyway, we have this cutaway where it says he's like the head of his own IT company called Sea Monster, and the fucking tagline is "Yes, my own company."
It's mine. I made it.
Also, I don't want to linger too long on this part, but the girl that he asks out, I forgot her name already.
Yeah.
Otohime. She's got scissors for head. I mean, she's got a normal head, but like her hair is curled in a way that looks like scissor handles, and I'm like, I wonder if this is intentional or not. I
The
wonder.
Nah.
dedication to the fucking hairstyle is impressive.
Yeah.
That's gonna take work. But
Also,
yeah,
I can't deal with the fact that she quote lives for the taste of fresh water. I
she
don't know
lives
what.
for the
to deal
taste.
with
Yeah,
of
that
fresh
was-
water. She likes an early morning rain. You could actually tell that he actually gives a shit about all the stupid shit she says to him in the morning
Right.
Yeah.
because he remembers all of it. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is kind of sweet. But
He probably like ruminates on it for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
I do like this because he is broken out of his bullshit by the fact that she's being chased around by a pervert, and he's just like, "Oh shit, I gotta get out of here!" And he fucking runs over there and attacks the guy with an umbrella.
Yeah.
We skipped ahead a
That's
little
good.
bit because he talks to his Studio Ghibli friend about it. He's like, I want you to break up with her for me.
Oh yeah, he's the
Yes.
most pathetic
What the fuck is
motherfucker. You have to he goes from being the most pathetic motherfucker ever to just being doing hero shit.
Yeah. And then the I mean the pervert attack was sort of not lampshaded but foreboded in the earlier parts where they have this conversation, and Fish Dude, this is immediately after he gets what's the opposite of rejected? Accepted. When he gets accepted into a position of being in a relationship with this woman.
Yes.
And he's just sitting on his chair like slouching, just like spacing out, and he's just so out of it. And everyone's trying to talk to him. All of his coworkers are trying to talk to him. And they're like, "Hey, do you want to go out? Do you want to like hang out later? There's this cool fish place." And then they're like, "Oh, he did not listen to us. Maybe we should have suggested a fish place." And then it hit me.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Which
oh,
I
wait
think-
a minute.
Like, hold on. When I heard that, I was like, okay, don't fish usually actually eat other fish?
Fish
But,
do
yeah,
eat
that
after
makes
the fish.
Yeah.
I like how his
But,
friend comes up to him and is just like, "Hey, are you the local pervert?"
are you?
yeah.
Is your alter ego hentai?
Hentai man. That's
Is
such a
that
weird way
because
to
of the
phrase
porn?
that. Yeah, probably. Actually,
I mean, hentai just
Accident-
means pervert, I think.
Yes, but he
Yeah.
accidentally showed this
Hentai the noun.
tentacle girl to his whole office, and now everyone thinks he might low-key be a pervert.
Yeah. And then he's just like, he freaks out as his friend. And he's like, "I'm having a moment. I'm not a pervert." And then his boss comes up and he's like, "Are you a pervert?"
it's just
I
like,
will
"You're a
take
Yeah.
pervert?
that."
I heard you were a pervert. I don't like
Yeah.
that. Not in my office."
Oh.
God. And then he tries to get his friend to break up with her, and then he goes and saves her from the pervert, and then they have a heart to heart where he like confesses how he feels like he's the sporting character. He's like, "No, you're the hero," and he's like,
She's just like, "You're my hero because you saved me from that
saved
awful
me."
pervert, man."
It's like an actually kind of cute moment. Like, it's like, aw. And then
And
his
then-
friend immediately comes in and is like, "Hey, I was supposed to break up with you." And he's like, "Shut up, man! Shut up, dude!"
"Read the room."
And
Read
she's
the
like,
room,
"What?"
motherfucker. She's
She's
like,
like,
"Hey, wait a
"Hello?"
minute. Explain this shit to me."
Yeah.
Oh man.
And then we have a nice dance at the end where they're all
It's a
dancing.
nice dance.
Cool show.
Yeah. Shame about the
Shame
not
about-
being translated.
Shame about it not existing.
Yeah, because I feel like I could potentially see more of this, but I feel like this is one of the few shows we've ever watched on here where that's probably not an
It's
option for
not a
us.
possibility for us to watch
Not a
more of this.
choice. Unless we all shell out, unless we all chip in
Hmm.
to hire a translator.
So
And if we get our other server into it, maybe they can chip in. This episode, the gang funds a fan sub.
sponsoring
Waffles
the
got
fucking
dreams.
gonna sponsor the fucking Blu-ray release of Business Fish.
for English, yeah.
We're gonna start the fandom actually.
Yeah. I got one last thing on my notes, which is that I thought it was funny that his Studio Ghibli friend says, Hachio is, I think, his name.
Yeah.
Is like, is it painful to hear that you're a fish? While they're having their talk at the beginning.
Yeah.
He doesn't know how to
Oh.
approach it. He's just like, you're very
Yeah.
clearly a fish man, but I don't know how to talk around it.
Yeah.
But you're my friend, and I don't want to hurt your feelings.
Yeah.
He's like a red snapper or something. It should be noted that when we say like he's got like a fish for a head, it's not like he has like a fish's face where a human face would be. His entire head is a full red snapper.
It's a full
It looks
fish,
like-
yes.
Yeah. I mean,
And then he has a neck coming out of the bottom of it.
The back of his head has a tail attached. There's fins on there and everything.
Yeah, I've got a good reference image here. But you can find other pictures of Business Fish by going on Facebook and clicking stickers and searching Business Fish. So that's one way to do it.
This picture you've posted is incredible.
Normal picture.
He's so powerful. That's just a guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd watch more of this if I could.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we're not able to do that at all.
If you've got a show that you can't watch, tell us about it at oneepisodecast@gmail.com.
That's one the word, not the number. Hey, when's the last time you actually checked that email, by the way?
And in an era before time. Maybe I'll check it now. Let's see.
And if you want to help us fund this show, send us a tweet on Twitter at OneEpisodeCast.
Start the fucking Business Fish GoFundMe.
Yeah, we're starting a fundraiser.
Yep. Yes.
We're loading Gmail.
What?
We're opening the tomb.
The vaults. Blackle, you can't share incomprehensible fan art like this that no one is.
You know what I'm scared about is I don't know if this is fan art.
You think this is just official Business Fish art?
Could be. I mean,
Business
compared to
Fish
the other
as
shit.
a minion,
You know what?
and also
to all the
milking
other-
a goat
Compared
with
to
a
all the
human
other
face.
all the other official Business Fish art, I wouldn't be fucking surprised.
There's one of these is Business Fish making out with a girl.
I think at least everything on the left side is actual Business Fish official art.
Why is he? Why?
Oh, you got to cheat, Business Fish. We don't have any emails that are like relevant.
Okay.
Right.
I was right to ignore this.
I mean, listen, if we tell people to email us, we gotta at least check in sometimes. Someone's just like desperately trying to get our attention, and we're just kind of like, huh?
A fruitless endeavor. I can't look at this fish Frenching this woman anymore.
I know.
This podcast is fucking adjourned.
Yeah. Bye. Everybody.